For more full-length yoga classes, join me on bananablondieyoga.com. We're going to begin the practice today in a nice, comfortable, cross-legged position. See if you can take any rounding out of your spine. Relax the shoulders down and sit up nice and tall. Really root your sit bones down into the ground and reach the crown of your head towards the sky. If your hips are tight or you're having trouble taking that roundness out of your back, you may want to sit on a folded blanket, towel, pillow, or a little yoga bolster like this one. Relax your palms on your knees. Feel your chest lifting up towards the sky and just begin to notice your breath. If you're a naturally bendy person or hypermobile, you may have a tendency to arch your lower back and dump into your belly. If so, I want you to focus on drawing your ribs together and pulling the lower navel in. Wherever you are, continue to focus on rooting those sit bones down into the ground and feeling the head lengthen up towards the sky. You can keep that folded towel or blanket under the sit bones, or you can go ahead and remove it. Begin to circle the shoulders back. Inhale as you draw them up to the ears, and exhale, circle them back and down. And just take this movement a few times. Nice deep breaths. Extend the right arm out to the side, and we're going to draw big circles with the left arm. Inhale, sweeping it forward, and exhale, circling it back. Good. Inhale, circle it forward, opening up that shoulder, and exhale, taking it back around. One more time here. Inhale, and exhale. Come back to center. Extend that left arm out to the side. And let's take it into the right. Inhale, sweeping it forward. Exhale, circling it back. Good, nice, slow breaths. Connecting that movement with your breath. One more time. Deep breath in. Exhale, open up the chest. And coming back to center. Extend the hands forward onto the ground and come onto your knees. You're going to align the shoulders right over the wrists and the knees under the hips. And you can check to see that the creases of your wrists are parallel with the top of your mat. We're going to find a neutral spine here. So rather than letting the belly hang, pull the lower belly in towards the spine and try to knit those lower ribs together. So we have a nice stable core here. Good. Reach the crown of the head forward as the tailbone extends back. Inhale and arch the back, bending the elbows slightly, opening up the chest and look up. Good. Exhale and round. Pull the navel in as you press the floor away from you. Inhale, arch, gaze to the sky. Exhale, press the floor away from you as you round the back and pull the belly in. Inhale, arch the back and look up. Exhale, find a neutral spine. Extend the right leg behind you, keeping the toes on the ground at first. Tuck the tailbone under and draw the belly in strongly. Activate the right side of the seat as you lift the foot up to hip height. Keep both hip bones pointed down towards the floor. Keep the core strong to stay steady and stable. If you feel steady, try extending the left arm forward. Think about lengthening the entire body, so reaching those fingertips forward, and then lower everything back down. Now extend the left leg out behind you, toes stay down on the ground. Scoop the tailbone under and pull the belly in. Squeeze that left seat to lift the foot up to hip height. Good, find that steadiness in the core. Rotate the inner elbows forward, and maybe you extend that left fingertips towards the top of your mat. Good, keep reaching and lengthening. Notice your breath here. And then lower everything back down. Walk the hands forward and lower the forehead towards the earth for puppy pose. Hips stay aligned right over the knees. Inhale as you open up the rib cage, and exhale, draw the ribs together. Feel a nice opening in your shoulder joints. Come back into all fours, aligning the shoulders over the wrists. Tuck the toes under. Arch the back slightly, tilting the tailbone up towards the sky. Lift the knees off the ground as you reach the tailbone upwards and relax your chest towards the top of your thighs. You can keep the knees bent for now, or you can try straightening your legs as you step back a little bit. Feet are a little wider than hips distance. If you feel that when you straighten your knees, it causes your back to round, go ahead and come back into bent knees and keep the length to the spine by tilting the tailbone towards the sky, drawing the lower ribs in, and pressing firmly into the ground with your hands. Downward facing dog. Notice your breath here. Walk the feet forward towards the top of your mat. You can keep the knees bent, fingertips to the earth. Inhale and find a flat back. And exhale, try to fold forward, connecting the chest with the thighs. Inhale, rise all the way up with a nice long spine. Press the palms together and look up. Exhale, bring the hands to your heart in prayer. Open up the palms and relax the arms down by your side. Root the feet down into the ground. Feet are hips distance apart. Activate your thighs. Tailbone is heavy, heart is lifted. Crown of the head reaching up. Root down through the soles of your feet. Tadasana. Inhale, reach the arms up, look up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, take a swan dive forward. Feel free to bend into the knees if you need. Bowing into Uttanasana. Inhale, lift the heart up halfway. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, place the palms down under the shoulders. And we're going to step back into plank pose, just like we're at the top of a push-up here. Activate the thighs, pull the belly in, squeeze your tush. You can always lower your knees here for a modification. Everything is active. Don't forget to breathe. Good. Very important here is to make sure the inner creases of the elbows are facing forwards towards the top of your mat. Keep the fingertips active. Lower the knees onto the ground. Tuck the tailbone under and keep the belly pulled in. On an exhale, bend the elbows, hugging them into your rib cage, lowering the shoulders to elbow height. Lower the hips down, and inhale, come into a little cobra. You may need to sneak your fingertips a little bit more forward here. Good. Keep the shoulders pressing away from the ears, and exhale, lower down and press back into your downward facing dog. You can have the knees bent or straightened as long as that spine is lengthened. Tilt the tailbone up to the sky and pull the lower ribs in. Keep pressing the floor away from you. Good. Take some deep breaths here. Activate the fingertips. Take a deep breath in as you rise up onto your toes, and exhale, bend the knees and look towards the top of your mat. You can either play with a little bit of a hop here, jumping the feet to the top of your mat, or you can simply walk the feet forward. Inhale, find that little bit of length to the spine, lifting the heart up. Exhale, fold forward, connecting chest and thighs. And inhale, rise all the way up. Look up and press your palms together. Exhale, hands return to your heart. Good. Open up the palms, drop the hands down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, swan dive forward, Uttanasana. You can always bend into the knees if you need. Inhale, rising up halfway, finding that long spine. Exhale, place the palms down under the shoulders and step it back into plank position. Everything is nice and tight and active. Good, deep breath in. Exhale, lower the knees. Bend the elbows, hug them into your rib cage. Lower the hips. Inhale, little cobra. Keep pressing the shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, lower and press back into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good job. Notice your spine here. Lengthening it out, tilting the tailbone to the sky. Maybe you have a little bend into the knees. Pressing the floor away from you. Inhale, the heels rise. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, and either hop or walk your way up to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and fold deep here. Inhale, nice long spine as you rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands return to your heart. Good, release the arms down by your side. Let's take it one more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bowing forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift the heart and lengthen the spine. Exhale, step it back into your plank. Nice and strong. Deep breath in. Exhale, lower the knees. Lower the heart. Hug the elbows in. Lower the hips. Inhale, cobra pose. Drop the shoulders down. Exhale, tuck the toes and reach it back into downward facing dog. Excellent. Take a moment to check in with your breath here. Good, long spine. Inhale as you extend the right leg up towards the sky. Keep the hips square, so try not to roll that right hip open, but keep both hip bones facing in the same direction. Draw the ribs in. On an exhale, bend the knee, bringing it towards your chest, and shift the shoulders forward over the wrists. Good. Keep pulling that belly in. Keep pulling it in, and then step the foot up between the hands. Now, it may not make it there. It may only get halfway there. You can do whatever you need to do. Maybe you inch it up, pick it up with the hand, and place the foot up towards the top of the mat, coming into a runner's lunge. You may want to use some blocks here to help elevate the floor. Relax the hips down. Keep that back thigh active. Now I want you to step the back foot in ever so slightly in order to lower the back heel down. That foot is at about a 45-degree angle. Keep the hips square towards the top of your mat and take your hands up onto your thigh to lift the heart up. Good. Keep the hips facing the front of your mat. Tuck the tailbone under and pull the lower belly in. So we want to have a lot of length happening in the lower part of the spine. Keep the back thigh active. Take the left hand to the outside of the right thigh to square the chest. Inhale and sweep the right arm up towards the sky. Keep drawing the belly in. And inhale, reach that left arm up. Make sure that the right knee is over the ankle, and we're keeping a nice deep bend into that knee, bringing the thigh almost parallel with the earth. Good. Keep reaching the arms up towards the sky. Nice deep breaths here. On an exhale, lower the hands back down. You can take them onto the blocks or on the earth, whatever's most comfortable for you. Inhale and step that leg back into your plank pose. Exhale and lower the knees, keeping the tailbone scooped under. Hug the elbows in as you bend the elbows. Inhale, little cobra, drop the shoulders down. And exhale, make your way back into downward facing dog. Good, long spine, knees are straight or bent. Keep pushing the floor away from you. Inhale, extend the left leg up. Hips stay square so we don't want to roll that open. We want to keep the hip bones facing down. Good job. On an exhale, we're going to bend the knee and draw it in towards our chest, trying to make that connection of the thigh to the chest. Shift the shoulders forward, gaze between the hands, and step the foot up. If it doesn't make it, we're going to get the foot up there any way we can. Aligning the knee over the ankle, maybe we come onto the blocks with the hands. Relax the hips down, but keep that right thigh active. Good, the heart is open. Lower the back heel down, maybe stepping the foot in. Keep the hips square. Pull the belly in as you place the hands on top of your thigh. Lift the chest up. Good. Make sure that the hips don't open up, but that right hip is facing forward. Left one is pulling back. Good. Pull the lower belly in. Right hand comes to the outside of the left thigh as you inhale and reach the left arm up. Good. Bring the right arm up to meet the left. Make sure that that left knee is right over the ankle, and we're keeping a deep bend into that knee. Deep breath. And exhale, lower the hands down. Inhale, step it back into your plank pose. Exhale, lower the knees, scoop the tailbone under, lower the heart. Inhale, hips come down, cobra, open up the chest. And exhale, lower the hips to the heels. We're coming into child's pose. You can take the knees a little wider and let the chest rest in between the thighs. Forehead is resting on the floor. Every time we come into child's pose, it's an opportunity to slow the breath down. Really check in with yourself. Try to keep the mind present in the body. And then let's make your way back up into downward facing dog. Good. Walk the feet into the center of the mat. Bend the knees and inhale. Let's roll the spine up, coming all the way up to standing. Now we're going to come into the balancing posture tree pose. Root the left foot down into the ground and bring the right ball of the foot to the earth with the heel on the inner left ankle. If you need more of a challenge, you can bring that foot up higher on the leg. You can bring it anywhere on the inside of that leg as long as it's not on the knee. Maybe you even bring it up really high onto the inner thigh. Knee is pointing out to the side. Keep rooting down into the standing leg. Bring your hands to your heart. Left thigh is very active. Reach the tailbone down into the ground as the crown of the head reaches up towards the sky. Maybe lifting the arms up over the head. Make sure you keep your gaze steady. Good. Bring your hands back to your heart. Draw that right thigh into your chest. And lower the foot back down. Let's come to the other side. So try to take the same variation on the second side as you did on the first. Remember that the foundation is that right foot, so really rooting it down into the ground. That just means pressing the foot firmly into the earth. Bringing your hands to your heart. Right thigh is active. Maybe reaching your arms up over your head. Steady gaze. Stay fluid with your breath. Good. Lowering the hands back to your heart. Draw that left thigh up towards your chest. And slowly lowering the foot back down to the earth. Good. Take your feet about as wide as your mat and turn the toes out. Lower the hips down into a yogic squat, malasana. Your heels may not easily reach the ground, and that's okay. If you'd like to place a folded little hand towel underneath the heels to make yourself a little more comfortable, go for it. It may even feel good to sit on a block. Just make sure that you're keeping the heart lifted, shoulders relaxed down. You can see how I'm using my triceps on the inside of my knees to press the knees open here. Trying to keep the heart open and lifting up towards the sky. Tailbone drives down and the crown of the head is really light, rising up towards your ceiling. Good. And very gently lower the hips down to the ground. Let's cross the legs and come back through all fours. Lift the knees up into plank. Find that strength of your core. Lower the knees down and lower the chest all the way down to the ground, hugging the elbows in. Now let's come up into Sphinx pose. Here we're going to place our elbows right underneath the shoulders. Isometrically pull the elbows back towards your feet. Draw the lower belly in, pull the ribs together, and tuck the tailbone under, pressing the pubic bone down into your mat. Shoulders press down away from the ears. Our neck is nice and long. This is a very active pose. Try to pull your chest through the upper arms. Good. Now let's interlace your hands behind your back if you can. If this is difficult, you can always use a strap here, or you can take a little hand towel and just make it easier. Lift the heart up. Good. Press the pubic bone down into the mat. Lift the hands up off the seat and reach your knuckles towards your heels. Good. Nice deep breaths. And carefully release the hands. And let's press back into Balasana, child's pose. So you can bring the knees wide, release the hips to the heels. Gently rest your forehead down onto the mat. Taking this little moment to reconnect with your breath. Slow it down. Good. Inhale and rise up to sitting on the heels. Bring your legs around front. You may want to take a folded blanket or towel and place it under the sit bones here. Sometimes it helps if we have tight hips to take the curve and the rounding out of the spine. Bring the soles of your feet together and let the knees open wide. It might feel good to gently massage your inner thighs, loosening up those muscles. Hold on to your ankles. And with a flat back, bring the chest forward and back. Good. Finding a little movement in your stretching, bringing the chest forward and taking it back. And bring the hands out on the ground in front of you. And if you can walk the hands forward while keeping the back flat, go ahead and do so. But if you notice that your spine rounds and you're hunched over as you're trying to fold forward, just come back up to sitting straight. I only want you to come forward if we can keep that nice straight spine. Keep pressing the sit bones down into the earth and then extending the hands forward, maybe bowing the head. Just relaxing into the breath wherever you are. Walk the hands back in, bringing yourself up to sitting upright. Good. You can keep that folded towel there, or you can remove it. Extend your legs out long in front of you. I find it really helpful if I move the flesh away from my sit bones so that I can really feel a deep connection between those bones and the earth. Now, again, if the spine is rounding here, keep that folded towel under the sit bones so we can sit up nice and tall. Activate the thighs. If you can reach for the toes without rounding the spine too much, go ahead and do so. You can also use a yoga strap or just a little hand towel, taking it behind the arches of your feet. Lifting the chest up. Give a little pull onto that towel as if you're trying to reach your heart towards your toes. Good. Draw the navel in, only bowing forward if we're not feeling any tension in the tops of the shoulders. If you start to notice tension in your shoulders or too much rounding in the spine, just come on up to a more vertical position and just keep pulling on that towel or yoga strap, lengthening the back of the legs. We want to remember that every yoga posture is going to look different for every body, and it's not so much about how it looks versus the functionality of it. And here our purpose is to stretch the hamstrings, so we don't need to bow all the way forward in order to reach that goal. Good. And then release. You can set that strap or towel aside. Sit up nice and tall once again. Go ahead and bend that right knee into the chest and take the foot and place it on the outside of that left leg. Right hand comes behind you for support. Root down into your sit bones. Inhale and reach that left arm up to the sky. Find lots of length. And exhale, let's take a little twist. You can either grab onto the knee or you can try hooking your elbow to the outside of the knee, using that as leverage to press into the knee and twist a little deeper. So every inhale, we lengthen the spine a little bit by pressing down into the sit bones. And every time we exhale, we twist a little bit deeper, drawing the belly in towards the spine. Good. On an inhale, come back into center. Switch the legs. So drawing that left knee into the chest this time. Let's take that foot and place it to the outside of the right leg. Press down into your sit bones. Left hand comes behind you for support. Inhale, reach that right arm towards the sky. And exhale, we come into the twist. So pulling the belly in, we either take our hand to the knee or maybe hook the elbow to the outside of the knee, using that leverage. Relax the shoulders down. Every inhale we lengthen, and every exhale we twist a little deeper. Good. Keep that steady breath going. And on an inhale, come back through center. Let's uncross the legs. Let's scoot up a little bit towards the top of your mat. Place the soles of the feet down onto the ground, hips distance apart. Take a light hold behind your thighs and lean back until that point where the abdominals have to catch. Elbows are nice and wide. From here, tuck your tailbone under and pull the belly in. We're going to tuck the hips under and release. Tuck and release. Good, very light grip behind the thighs here, just the fingertips. Tucking and releasing. Every time we tuck, we're actively drawing those lower abs in towards the spine. So it's a very small movement, just waking up the lower abdominals here. Good, tucking and release. Keep pressing the feet down into your mat. Stay in it just a little bit longer. Tucking and release. Good job. And now we're going to roll all the way down onto your back. Nice and slow. Good. Draw your heels in close to your seat. Again, your feet are hips distance apart, and we're going to want to keep those knees right in line with the hips and the feet. Bring your arms to your sides. On an inhale, press down into your feet and lift your hips up. Keep the chin moving up slightly away from your chest for bridge pose. Hold here and take deep breaths. Continue to root down into the ground with all of your body parts that are touching the earth. Good. Notice how the breath moves through your belly. And on an exhale, you're going to slowly lower your hips back down to the ground. And gently sway your knees from side to side, releasing any tension you may have created in the low back. And bring your knees back up to center, preparing to lift up into bridge pose once more. Press down into your feet and lift your hips up. Now you can stay with that original variation, or from here you can interlace your hands together behind your back. Press the forearms down into the ground, and we're going to kind of tuck the shoulders under, rolling them towards one another. Make sure that you continue to keep that chin lifting away from the chest so that you keep that natural curve to your cervical spine. Just getting a little bit deeper into the shoulder and chest opening here. Nice deep breaths. Make sure you're keeping the knees in line with the hips and they're not splaying wide apart. Good. Release the clasp of the hands. Rise up onto the toes and slowly lower the spine down one vertebrae at a time. And sway the knees from side to side. Good. Bring your knees back to center. Hopefully you have a block nearby. If you don't have a yoga block, you can always use a pillow. We're going to place that yoga block or pillow underneath the sacrum. I like to use the block on my lowest setting for this one. It should feel comfortable, so if it doesn't, you may want to make a little adjustment there until it feels nice and comfy. You can go ahead and close your eyes and bring your mind to the sound of your breath. Now let's extend both legs up towards the sky. The feet are flexed. Let your palms face up towards the sky here. And begin to consciously slow your breath down. Notice the sound of your inhales and exhales. Notice how your breath moves through your body. Notice your face. Make sure all the muscles there are relaxed. And let's lower the feet down one at a time. Lift your hips up to gently remove the block and set it aside. Lower your hips down. Draw your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. Go ahead and take hold of the outer edges of your feet. Draw your knees down towards the earth for happy baby. If it's more comfortable, you can just grab onto the ankles. Wherever you are, make sure you're pressing your tailbone down into your mat. Your shoulders are relaxed. Soften your jaw and your throat. Relax all the muscles in the face. You can rock from side to side if it feels good. And then come back to center. Release your feet. Extend your legs out long on the ground. Arms come alongside your body and the palms face up towards the sky. Allow your eyes to close and your entire body to soften and relax into the earth beneath you. Your breathing is natural. Everything feels good. And just allow the effects of your practice to take over. Shavasana. awareness back to your body. Take a deep breath in as you stretch your arms up over your head. On an exhale, roll over onto your right side and pause there. Soften into the earth. And then gently make your way up into a comfortable seat. You can always place that folded towel under the sit bones. And let the back of your hands rest on your thighs, palms facing up towards the sky. Notice your breath. Inhale and bring your hands together at your heart. Exhale and bow your head. Namaste.
For more full-length yoga classes, join me on bananablondieyoga.com.